I'm optimistic. I think NASCAR's road course product, especially on the Xfinity side, has been really good. And if that can translate to the Cup side too, you know, we've got a shot there. But I think that's more from a business standpoint. NASCAR wants to be able to wine and dine, clients and sponsors, and that venue is so top notch that if you've got business to do or you've got some sort of arrangement, Circuit of the Americas will give you that top notch experience. And the racing won't be bad, but we're all hoping for a great race.
Hmm.
So I look at COTA. I look at Road America as a place that you want to go to for the experience and the racing. I look at Circuit of the Americas as the track they're going to because it makes a lot of business sense.
Mm.
I know I was very critical of going to Nashville Superspeedway because I'm such a big homer for the fairgrounds, and I think there's still a shot to make the fairgrounds work. But when NASCAR said they're taking the downforce off for Darlington and Nashville, it completely changed my perspective on it. I think that Nashville can be a really good race now that they've taken the big wing off, the giant, or as Dale Jr. would call it, the giant ass spoiler. uh, I'm looking forward to that race because I think that if they put on a good show at 1.33 mile concrete Nashville, it's going to be another reminder to my boys, Steve O'Donnell and Phelps. What are we doing with the big ass spoiler? So I'm looking forward to Nashville as an opportunity to for validation, to prove that racing is just better when you can, you know, spread the cars out a little bit and give them room to race. Um, let's talk Bristol, and that's the big one, right? I
Yep.
mean, obviously the Daytona Road Course is coming back for unfortunate circumstances, but Bristol's going to be interesting. I think they are putting a lot of care into the layout and the banking to kind of optimize the best version of that racetrack. Because when they did it 20 years ago, they basically just threw dirt on Bristol and said, "Come race it," and it worked for the Outlaws. It was a fine show. But in my conversations with race teams and people at Bristol, they've said they've done a lot of communication with the engineers, drivers, and the banking is not going to be the same with just dirt on it.
Hmm.
They're trying to figure out what that best elevation difference is to create the best racing product. They have put a lot of time in it to make it more than just Bristol with dirt covering it. And I think if the racing is not good, it's not going to be for a lack of effort. It's an experiment. You know, we've seen the pictures the last couple of years from the Bristol spring race. People just aren't showing up. That's a big venue, so you can still have 50,000 people show up, and that place looks like it looks like a cathedral on Saturday. No one's there. So I think that even if it doesn't work out, it's a worthwhile experiment. It's going to create a lot of buzz. And if people like the concept of NASCAR on dirt, there's no reason we can't put the Cup Series over there with the Truck Series at Knoxville Raceway. So I endorse doing something different. This Cup Series schedule is so diverse. The first dirt race since 1971, 7 road course races, handful of short tracks. Darlington and Nashville aren't going to have the giant spoiler. That's good. And you're going to have